Some things are like seeds. We plant them in silence, away from prying eyes, so they can grow and flourish without interference. This is where the wisdom of the Stoics teaches us to protect and nurture within ourselves. They themselves were in no hurry to show this to the world. The great Stoics of history knew that not everything should be shared. They treasured their secret accomplishments and lessons because they understood that revealing too much of the true essence of things might lose them, robbing all the joy and sadness. So when we do not share something, it's not to hide it, but to protect it. Now that you understand the problem, it's time to learn how to approach and solve it. Solution number 1. Do not speak of your achievements. Imagine diving into the deep and dark waters of your own soul. For the Stoics, the quest for wisdom and virtue resembled this profound journey. They believed that true satisfaction was not in showcasing external triumphs, but in introspection and continuous evolution. Every challenge, every battle was not fought in public arenas but in the silent landscapes of the spirit. By discussing their victories, they offered us profound insights into ego and vanity, which when nurtured can become barriers that separate us from true virtue. The true greatness, they believed, lay in living with integrity and dedicating oneself to the collective. They left the legacy that humility, sincerity, and the unceasing pursuit of wisdom were the true pillars of a life worth living. Do not speak of the challenges, just overcome them in silence. In the Stoic path to wisdom and virtue, every step was full of meaning. The deviations and obstacles were not mere hindrances. They carved the soul, shaped character, and taught about the true nature of greatness. It wasn't the visible triumph that counted, but the internal battles, often invisible, that determined a person's true inner strength. But if these challenges were so valuable, the Stoics advised not to speak of them. The answer lies in the insightful perception of ego and pride, which can cloud our vision and make us blind to true virtue. The unrelenting pursuit of external recognition and praise can be a veil that hides our true potential. The Stoics did not value achievements that could easily be displayed as trophies. They sought true glory in acts that uplifted humanity, acts rooted in values like justice, generosity, and wisdom. Do not speak about your good deeds. Imagine a candle that quietly illuminates a dark room. Its light is gentle and discreet, but it warms and brightens everything around it. Kindness for the Stoics was much like this flame. They believed that true generosity didn't need to be proclaimed in the public square or shouted from the mountaintops. It should, in its essence, be a genuine and subtle gesture done by the simple desire to do good without expecting praise in return. Because this perspective may seem strange in the current culture of constant self-promotion for a profound reason. The Stoics recognized the danger of turning kindness into a spectacle. After all, if we boast about every altruistic act, we may inadvertently seek the fleeting warmth of applause. Keeping our good deeds under the cloak of anonymity provides a sacred moment of reflection and pause, a moment of intimate connection with ourselves, where we can question whether our actions were genuine or motivated by other interests. This silent self-examination becomes a catalyst for personal improvement. Do not speak of your resentment. Have you ever felt trapped in a storm of emotions, entangled in thoughts of anger and bitterness? The Stoics recognized the toxicity of these emotions and the need to tame them. They believed that resentment, when expressed often, only feeds its own strength, making it grow rather than diminish. This is why they advised against speaking of your resentment, but instead finding ways to understand and overcome it. For the Stoics, resentment was not a burden to be shared with the world, but a dark shadow that could be faced, illuminated, and eventually dispelled. They understood that anger, bitterness, and resentment not only corrode our inner selves but also harm our relationships. Expressing these feelings can fuel conflicts, create barriers, and push away those we love the most. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to learn how to deal with these emotions in a healthy and constructive way. Silence in this context is not a sign of weakness, but an act of strength and wisdom. The wisdom of the Stoics is a deep source of reflection and guidance. While it may seem counterintuitive in an era of constant sharing and the pursuit of external validation, the Stoic principles resonate with the true strength that comes from self-knowledge, humility, and the pursuit of virtue. Practice these teachings on your own journey of self-discovery and see how they can quietly enrich your soul as you strive to become the best version of yourself. If you loved the video, then a like and subscribe will be motivating for me and kindness for you. See you in the next one, Forgers.